Hello, my name is Dr. Vladimir Gashinsky from Holistic Dental Center in Millburn, New Jersey. And today it's my pleasure to introduce you beautiful Lisa Mack. She is a thermographer. She will tell you more about her profession. But I have a first question to her. Because most of the holistic practitioners have some kind of event, make them to go in the holistic way, and what make you to go for this profession?
Well, Dr. G, I was born with a congenital heart disease, a very rare form.
Wow.
And so my whole entire life I was followed by a cardiologist and basically was told to my parents that they didn't know how to fix me. It's called pulmonary stenosis. So all of my arteries from my heart to my lungs are very narrow. So as I'm growing up, they told me I couldn't do any sports, you would be very closely watched. So I developed a passion for dancing. And I was allowed to dance, which was kind of crazy because it was just as physical as doing a sport. So I was a professional dancer. My parents opened up a dance studio, became a dance teacher.
Wow.
So it was wonderful, and got engaged to be married. And one morning, woke up, normally exercising, take care of myself like I normally do. And I said, oh, I don't feel well. And all of a sudden, my heart rate went up way over 100. I had, taste of metal in my mouth. My arm went numb, and rushed me to the hospital. And trying to figure out, gave me nitroglycerin because I was experiencing a heart attack. So my fiance, they couldn't find anything wrong. So they sent me home and the next day I passed out. And my cardiologist said, "Listen, you're out of my hands. I don't know how to fix you." So he did find me somebody at Columbia Presbyterian, thank God, and got a catheterization. And what happened was one of my arteries, the main artery coming out of the heart, had been so narrow there was no blood flow. So I was scheduled for open heart surgery within 2 weeks, so that was like 18 years ago. And they found me a world-renowned surgeon that can fix me, and they took the membrane from around my heart and fixed the artery, which was amazing. But what was more amazing is the day after in ICU, I had a nurse squeeze my hand and said, "I lost my daughter to what you had exactly 1 year ago," which was crazy because they didn't have a cure for my heart disease 1 year before. So it was very, 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 very lucky. And so after my open heart surgery, I was getting married. Actually, today's my anniversary. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I was getting married in November, and that was in February. And he said, "I don't know if you can have any children." And I was like, "What?" And so here I was as a dancer, very athletic. I couldn't understand. And he says, "Just recover first, and we'll give you a stress test." I had a stress test, and they shut down the treadmill on me, and they said, "If you can do that, you can have, you can have children." So I had my first son. Had my first son, and then he was about a year old, and one night I was exercising again. I started vomiting blood, and I was like, "What is going on?" So I wasn't feeling well, had a fever. My husband brought me to the hospital, and they told me I had pneumonia. And the next morning I woke up, and I still didn't feel well, and still blood was coming up. And I called my heart doctor. He said, "Get here immediately." So when I got there, they misdiagnosed me. I had a hole in my left lung. So didn't know where that came from. And, again, they put me in a certain unit thinking I have cancer, all sorts of stuff. But they tried to fix me with medicine for a year and told me you can't have any children because of birth defects. So I ended up having lung surgery a year later. And thank God it was just laser, and they didn't know what they were going to do. But after that, I have been 100%. And then I had my son, and then I said, "Can I get pregnant one more time?" And I prayed for a daughter, and my last one is my girl, and she ended up with the same heart condition that I have, but it's very minor, thank God. Mm-hmm. But I've been very healthy ever since, and I knew that my journey was exercise, fitness, and health, and I wanted to do something. So when my daughter went to kindergarten, I just knew that I wanted to do something. So I went to school for holistic nutrition to start so I can help my family. Because my middle son ended up with terrible eczema, and I met a wonderful holistic pediatrician that helped him tremendously, and I was so intrigued by that. So I went on to school, learned about nutrition, And I've also learned about what I do today is thermography. And the way I got there is I wanted to know, because I had tremendous amount of radiation with chest x-rays with my heart condition. I wanted to avoid any radiation that I can possibly do. They told me about thermography, and I went and got one done myself. And that's where it brought me to where I am today.
It's an amazing story. And tell us, how do your clients benefit from your procedures, from your services?
Well, thermography is a non-invasive test. There's no compression and no radiation. It's a test of physiology, looking at what is really going on in your body, looking for inflammation, looking at vascular patterns, looking at if there's toxicity, lymphatic congestion, and so much more. So this test is something that everyone can benefit from. So what it is, the difference between a mammogram and a thermogram is a mammogram is looking for that anatomical lump that formed over time. Thermography is looking at, again, the physiology, so what has been leading up to that point. You don't go to bed one night and the next morning you wake up with a lump. That's just impossible. You know that's something that has been going on. So what we can see is the stuff that's leading up to that point. So many women come in and for choosing to do thermography, and their breasts they're loaded with lymphatic congestion, because we see underneath the armpits and we see the lymphatic congestion through the breast. And it's like, what are you using? What kind of deodorant are you using? What's clogging the lymphatic system? So, they have sometimes pain under the arm, and it's just simply that it's congestion. So we teach them how to get rid of the congestion to make their breast healthier. And there could be something, there that they need to change, whether it's diet, so they can change the physiology of their body. Thermography is like a roadmap. It's like a fingerprint. You have, a thumbprint. So some people have more inflammation than others. And inflammation doesn't always mean it's bad. But what's really good is that we come in for the first time and we see exactly what's going on. The doctors, because I am the thermographer, and I have a group of medical doctors that read the report. Mm-hmm. So we send it off, and once they get their report back, they have suggestions on there to make those changes so you can make yourself better. So it's great when you come in on the second time, because you can compare your pictures and see the changes that you have made. Mm-hmm. It's just wonderful.
Listen, what person looking for your services? It's predominantly women?
No, it's actually men and women. Because we're not only just looking in the breast, we can do a male or a female health screening, which goes from the head down to the abdomen. So if we're looking in the head region, we're looking at the carotid artery, we're looking at sinuses, what's causing maybe you have some headaches, and also we're looking in the mouth, the gums, the root canals, is there an infection there, draining down into the lymphatic system, early signs of periodontal disease, so much more. You can look into the thyroid, heart, and lungs, early signs, breast, chest, digestive system, and then you look into the legs and the arms. And it's very fascinating what we can see, because we had a wonderful story from another thermographer that this young kid had broken his leg, and what they were doing for him, it wasn't working. So what happened is they did a thermography on him, obviously saw the broken leg, but his leg was so cold, there was no blood circulation going.
That's why it cannot heal.
Yes. So they had to change course to do something to help him. So as he came in for his thermography to keep getting checked, you can start to see the healing process and that the blood flow was working.
What is your mission statement when this comes to help public?
Our mission statement with Lisa's Thermography and Wellness is to help our clients, provide them with information and tools to help them change their well-being and help guide them in a lifestyle change that can actually help them prevent some serious diseases.
This is unbelievable. And tell me, what is a quick tip that somebody who listens to this program take from here?
That everyone should absolutely do something like this. The thermography. It will help everyone. We all want to see something before it happens. Don't wait until it happens.
And where people can locate you, where can find you, what the way to contact you?
Well, they can contact me through my website. It's lisasthermographyandwellness.com. My phone number is 855-667-9338. And I have several different locations. I'm a mobile thermographer, so they'll be able to go on the website and see which locations I am, where I'm at. And if anything, they can speak with you, Dr. G.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Dr. G.